Hey, guess who's back after a long time? So I wanted to make this video for a long time, but haven't had any time to make any videos. Sorry, I took a long break, but it is what it is. So I hope I can make publish regular content from now on, but please just bear with me. I'm sorry. Yeah, and today I decided to shoot the video from a different location. Usually I shoot it from my room, but today I just thought like it's Easter, no one's around, so let's shoot it in the Leases Park, and you can just see like it's better out here, right? One more thing before I start, I just wanted to say that this is more of a sit down and listen kind of video, and I just wanted to say 5 things that you realize when you move abroad. And while you watch the video, you can just ignore my beard. I'm a grown ass man now, and I have the audacity to call this a beard now. One of the things you realize when you move abroad is you start to feel like you are somewhere in between, and you don't quite belong to either side, and it is quite a hard thing to grapple with, but it's really common among people who move abroad. On the one hand, you may feel a sense of loyalty and connection to your home country, especially for someone like me whose entire ties are back home and who didn't know anyone before he moved abroad. You may miss some things such as some familiar sights of people just popping around, or the sounds of someone just screaming in your mother tongue back home. But the one thing you might need to know is, trust me when I say that when you're especially living in a student accommodation, there won't be any less of sounds going around. There would be just drunk people all the time, like even if it's 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., drunk people just keep screaming outside your building, so you won't miss that. But also you might miss the taste. Oh my god, I can't emphasize enough how much I miss the food back home. And the worst thing you might miss is the feeling of nostalgia. The sweet memories you left behind, they will just keep on popping around, and you'll miss that a lot. And on the other hand, you may feel a different connection, a sense of belonging in your new home, especially because you have chosen to come here and establish a new life. You may have made new friends, get accustomed to the new culture over here, learned a new language maybe, and just felt like, yeah, this is the place I want to be with. However, despite all these connections, you might still feel you're stuck somewhere in between because of some of the customs you don't share with the locals. But you also might not feel like you belong in your home country because of all the things you might have missed out over there while you were just establishing your new home. This feeling of being somewhere in between might be really challenging, but it might provide an opportunity for you to build a complex sense of belonging for yourself and a new self identity for yourself. By being exposed to a lot of different perspectives, you might become more open minded. You might develop a different perspective of how you view things. And trust me, this would just make you more empathetic and just crave the appreciation for the unique abilities provided by both your new home and your old home. In the end, the feeling of being somewhere in between is just a transformative experience for you and would just make you develop and grow as a person. The second thing is, moving abroad can be a bittersweet experience, and you might feel like you have left a part of yourself behind. One of the things people realize when they move abroad is the home you leave isn't ever the home you ever come back to. Difficult realization that the people, places, and things you left behind might have changed or evolved while you were somewhere else. For example, you might be used to a set of custom traditions or like things you do when you're home, and when you go back you just realize that the places you used to go to, the things you used to do might have changed a bit, or the places might have been renovated or replaced, and that's just a difficult thing to cope up with. You think like you have lost a sense of belonging from there, that things have changed and you don't see that as a home you left. But by accepting the fact that the home you left behind has changed, you might appreciate things with a fresh eyes, and you might develop new connections to the place while keeping the old bonds intact. In the end, you just have to keep one thing in mind, that The home you left behind would never be the same home you come back to, but it would still be a part of you, and it would still be the home you crave to go back to. And that's the bittersweet thing about going abroad. Moving abroad can be an exciting adventure that provides you with different opportunities for personal growth. But the one thing you might realize is when you move abroad, you will have to enjoy your company a lot. Living in a foreign country can be a really lonely experience, especially when you don't have any friends or family or ties in the new country. But the sense of being on your own might provide you with an opportunity to have a different sense of self-reliance and independence that you never have experienced, and would just contribute to your growth or personal growth that you would appreciate much more in your life. The one thing I realized is when you move abroad, you are alone a lot of times. You have to do a lot of chores, set up your new life, and that's the thing you do alone. And that's just the thing which makes you enjoy your own company, have a much more better appreciation for yourself, and trust yourself to go through anything, any difficult situation you're faced with. While it can be challenging to move abroad and leave everything you're familiar with behind, but it might provide you just an opportunity to be more independent, do things on your own, and just get rid of all the self doubt you ever had, and just have a better appreciation of everything. All in all, it is 100% a very rewarding experience, and you would have a different appreciation for the solitude you might experience and the self reflection you might have on yourself. One of the things people realize when they move abroad is that they have a better understanding of relationships with themselves and the relationship they have with other people. When you move abroad and you don't have any friends or familiar ties over here, you'll meet a lot of new people. You'll make a lot of new friends. You'll have a new high to your life. This is a really exciting time, and you learn how to manifest new relationships, grow and just nurture the relationship and maintain them as much as you can. As I told you in the last point, moving abroad can be an isolating process, but it would just help you to have a bit of self reflection, and just have a better understanding of how you want your relationship to be, and how you would perceive others through that lens. Moreover, moving abroad can give you a different perspective of your relationships back home with your families, with your friends, and it would open a whole different chapter of yourself that you never thought you had in yourself. It would strengthen your relationships a lot. It would make you more closer, even though you are far apart geographically. Ultimately, moving abroad can be a transformative experience for all your relationships, whether it be the relationships you have back home or the relationships you form over here. You will have a better understanding of how you want to be treated by people, how you treat people, and how the people around you make you feel. So you'll have a lot of new experiences. You'll have, some of them might be shitty, some of them might turn out better than you ever expected, and that's the beauty of moving abroad. And the one thing I would tell you is, as much as you're afraid of leaving things behind, like back home, you don't have to worry much about them. The connections are still there, and they would still be there when you visit your home country. Yeah, you don't have to bury them. The final thing I would like to say is, moving abroad is an exhilarating process, and there's truly nothing like being on your own in a foreign country. This is probably the best point I have, and the thing is, when you move abroad, you have to rely on your own instincts a lot. Some of them might not turn out to be as well as you thought it would, but it's just something you do on your own. You have to cope up with things on your own, and the thing is, you can do it at your own pace. No one would force you to do it any differently. It's just something you have to do on your own, and that's the beauty of it. That's the appreciation you'll gain, the self-reliance you'll have on yourself, and just the independence you'll appreciate more and more as time goes along. And as I was closing the video, there's a helicopter now whose noise you might hear in the background, maybe. Moreover, being on your own can be a liberating experience. Please just ignore the helicopter noise in the background. As I was saying, moving abroad can be a liberating experience. You might have a set of opinions you had back home, but when you experience different perspectives, they just might change a bit. You'll have to step out of your comfort zone a lot, and I can't emphasize this enough. You will have to step out of your comfort zone so much. Like, I remember I was the most introverted person I know, and when I came here, I didn't have any friends. As I said, like, I didn't have any ties here, so I just had to keep on introducing myself to new people, going to events alone, not knowing anybody at the events. But that's how I made friends, just approaching random strangers, initiating conversations with your peers, trying new things. Like, I tried a new sports when I came here, and I've made my best friends through it, and it's the best thing ever. But the worst part was the first step, just taking the first step and getting out of your comfort zone. And trust me, when you do that, you'll have so much fun from that then on. I can't emphasize enough how truly special this experience is, and if I had to do it all over again, I'll definitely do it all over again. And there's nothing that even comes close to this, and I'm so thankful I get to do this. And I hope I gave you some insights into the realizations I had when I moved abroad. And if you're one of the people who moved abroad and I think I missed out some things, you can just comment them down below. I would highly appreciate that. And I do hope on publishing more regular content. I have some video ideas in my mind. So I hope you just enjoyed this video and gained something out of this video. See you next time. Cheers.
Really clear, sometimes it could be a